Yeah, my wife is a physician, and she, all the time, tells me that half of her patients' problems are that they don't understand their disease, or that they don't understand what they should be doing. Mm-hmm. If they just prevented, took a few actions, then they would never even have to show up at the hospital. They would be better off, the healthcare system would be better off. And so there's a lot to be done around educating the patients and them understanding what they're, and it's self-service. A lot of these things, even myself, I consider myself an educated person, but a lot of times if I have a little something, I'm like, oh, it's no big deal, and I feel it's hard to get a schedule with a doctor and all of the rest. But who knows? I shouldn't be doing that. I should actually take it seriously and go in. But a lot of people do that. My wife sees people who have done that and became very serious. And now it's becoming a much more expensive thing. A much more intervention has to take hold. But if people can at least have resources where they can get an idea of what they may or may not have, understand their diseases. I think around the world, there's been education in general just correlates with better health. Mm-hmm. So you can educate about health, but you can just educate generally. It makes you more conscientious about your diet, about your stress levels, about exercise. Once again, I'm not an expert there, but we hope we can bring some of the experts, including the experts that you all have at the foundation, to really think about how to address this issue. So you're absolutely right. I'd say where we're most focused is on the traditional academic math and science, and obviously the way society is structured today, these are the things that we've had to go through in order to prove to employers that we have good critical thinking skills, that we have a good work ethic, that we can communicate, etc. But I think there's a growing realization in the private sector and amongst universities that many students are getting an academic background, but then it doesn't translate into what's needed in the corporate world. And oftentimes you might have straight A's at a great university, and then the corporation has to train you for a few years to make you actually productive. And so what's exciting about this, the platforms, the tools with exercises and quizzes and the data and the analytics that we're using for algebra, calculus, or physics, these same things could be used to, as we just said, learn part of being a nurse. Obviously some of it is hands-on, but there's some intellectual component. Yeah. It could be accounting, it could be finance, reading, writing, arithmetic. I think it's going to be reading, writing, arithmetic, and computer programming. Learning to write, things like that. So this is something I wrote a lot about in my book. I strongly believe, so I hope over the next, and I hope we can work with you all on this, and it's going to be different in every region, because in different regions there's different demand for different skills. Mm-hmm. But I see no reason that over the next, say, 5 years, we can't start to identify the skills that are very valuable, give access to people so that they can learn those skills, mm-hmm. then provide ways that they can prove that they know those skills that are independent of traditional systems. So, hey, I know accounting now, let me go take a test at the library or at the company. I take the test, and then employers say, hey, if you get to this level, we will interview you. We think that you're as good as the college graduate or as a high school graduate. And I think you do that, it opens up a lot of opportunity for a lot of people. We're open to partner with anyone who is a credible player, and obviously you guys are. So we would love to explore ways that we could leverage our platform and either host your content, or you guys host our content, or there's a million different ways that we could look into working with Clicky Salud.